Ooh, all right. New information. A lot of talk about Andrew Tate, but man, nothing else going on anyway. But yeah, this is big news, man. And while everybody gets on, I will do my usual song and dance real quick. If you're new to the channel, what I ask from people is that you subscribe to the channel. You can watch all of my content. It's a gentleman's agreement. And don't be the guy that doesn't do it or the girl. It's like there's a store, everything's free. You're just supposed to leave a quarter at the front of the store in the jar. We're raising money for muscular dystrophy. Don't be the person that takes the candy and doesn't pay. That's cold-blooded. I work really hard. So I appreciate everybody subscribing, and then you can watch all of my content, and I appreciate it very much. And we're friends now. And for everybody else, Andrew Tate is not going home. I literally just did a video where I said that he was out because that's what I heard. I heard that he was there for 24 hours and got out. And there is a new report that just came out that he got no bail, that he's going to be there for at least 30 days in a Romanian jail. So, yeah, man, it's rough, dude. But here's the thing, dude. I'm gonna be straight, dude. I'm gonna talk on this stream. I'm gonna be real straight on what I'm thinking right now. Cause now I am, basically nothing has really changed, but I've just been thinking, well, so here, I'll show you guys exactly, I'll show you exactly where this came from. Oh, wait a second. Hang on for a second. Hold on. Something's live right now. Hold up. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So this is like some kind of Twitter live space that he's jailed for 30 days. It's on Twitter. So here you go. Just in Andrew and Tristan Tate jailed for 30 days to ensure they do not escape as the investigation continues. No bail, appeal possible. So it's super weird. It's like, why would they arrest him if they need to continue doing the, if they need to continue doing the investigation? You know what I mean? It's like, normally you do the investigation, then you arrest someone, arrest him. And then it's like, hey, we don't want him to escape while we put a case together. It's like, all right. Like I said, dude, everybody keeps saying that he got, like, I just did a video and I said he was already out because that's what I had heard. But there is this stream and this dude who apparently is super credible. He's a real check mark, 330,000 followers. The quartering commented on it that they got remanded with no bail. So, someone was tweeting from his account. Let's see. Let's take a look. We can actually, what am I doing? We can do this all together, you guys. Jeez. Listen, dude, I'm not in any, there's no reason to yell at me, dude. I am just, I am reporting what is running around on Twitter right now, which is that he has been remanded. And, I don't even know. What's his, it's Cobra Tate, right? All right. Andrew Tate retweeted Elon Musk about the Matrix. The Matrix sent their agents. Okay. Listen, guys, this does not mean that he's out, dude. Okay. If you think that Andrew Tate does not have a social media manager, you're crazy. It doesn't mean that he's not out, but this definitely does not mean that he's out. And here, I'll show you the story. where I'm seeing this that he's not out is Mario Knopfel. So here. So this was 6 hours ago. So he was at a hearing 6 hours ago. The prosecutors have requested a 30-day detention. The judge will assess the evidence and deem whether it is strong enough to file the extension. Decision should be soon. And they did. Boom. 58 minutes ago. Just in. Andrew and Tristan Tate jailed for 30 days to ensure they do not escape as the investigation continues. No bail, appeal possible. This means there's significant evidence and jail time seemingly more. Wow, that does mean that that's not good. So look at this. So when I first read this, it was like, this means there's significant evidence and jail time is seemingly more likely, up to 20 years. This does not mean they're guilty. I was like, why does that mean that there's significant evidence? And that's actually true, because here it is. This guy was following it. The Tate wrote, and it said the judge will assess the evidence to deem whether or not it's strong enough to file for the extension. And they approved it. So that means that there's it means that there, apparently was evidence that supported doing the extension. So, I mean, look, dude, unless you guys are going to tell me that guy's fake news, that's where it's coming from. That's one of those things. Like 6 hours ago, it's like, hey, yeah, they're going to be in court, and then like an hour, and then 5 hours later, it's like, oh, it's just some big, he's just going to ruin his reputation forever to do some weird thing where Andrew Tate's out. He's not out. He's not out, man. He's in for 30 days. It's like, okay. Anyway, so I would say pretty confidently that he's probably remanded. So here's what my thoughts are now, right? So going off of, and Vegas VIPs, thank you very much, man. So here's what it is. I'm going to assume that there is at least some kind of evidence that they could present to the judge. Is it possible that you got a corrupt judge, corrupt prosecutor? Of course, possible. But in all honesty, probably less likely than there is at least something that they have in terms of a case. So now I switch gears a little bit and I go to a different way of looking at this, right? Which is and look, I don't know anything at all about his operation. I've never looked for his cam girl thing. I know as much as any other. I probably know less than most people. I know a fair amount about his kickboxing career because I looked it up. But in terms of like what his businesses are, nothing. I know he has a Discord that people pay $50 to be a member of, Tate University or whatever. But I don't have any insight on this. So I'm literally just talking based on experience in things, or, as an observer or whatnot. But number one, he seemed way too rich for whatever he was like, whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, how do you have that much money? You know what I mean? It's like, do you have 16, or he said, he told, like in his tweet to Greta, assuming that he sold, he says 33 cars. How does he have that? How does he have money like that? How do you have money for 33 cars? I mean, and again, I don't have an answer. Maybe he's got business, whatever. But he seems really, 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 really. I mean, that's real money right there, And then here's the other thing that I'll say. If it comes out that he was in doing dirt, if he was, the casinos thing. I forgot about that. He does not. No. The 350 million thing. And I'll tell you how I know is because if he's saying he has a $350 million net worth, he's lying, dude. Because he, God, who was it with, dude? I can't remember if it was Jake Paul or Logan Paul or someone, but he was talking about betting someone. And he said he said he would bet them 3 million. He said it was someone wanted to do something for like 10 or 20 million or something. And he's like, look, he's like, I will take that bet. We'll do 3 million. I don't have money for 10 or 20 or whatever. And I remember hearing that and noting like, okay, like that's like, like he said it very naturally, where it's like, I mean, listen, betting $3 million is a fucking enormous amount of money. I'm not like shitting on the guy, but that was pretty recent too. I mean, look, so bottom line though, if he's into dirt and this, look it, you want me to make a real high level connection here for everybody who watches my channel? Watch this. If he was into dirt, what everyone should take away from this situation is the same thing you should take away from the Krause situation, which is if you have money coming in on the margins, shut the fuck up about your money. Okay? Shut the fuck up about your money, dude. If you have money that's even in the gray zone, I mean, in his case, it's kind of part of his brand, so I understand. I understand, I mean, obviously, Baller University, whatever it is, I get it, but attention is universal. Okay, you can't get the attention of like a bunch of like kind of like random simp dudes around the world without getting the attention of people you don't want to know who you are. You can't have it both ways, man. Like, you can't have it both ways. You can't get to all those people without getting to everybody else. And so, again, I just can't stress this enough. I say this all the time. First of all, don't do dirty, find a way to make normal money. But if you make dirty money, shut the fuck up. Because these people don't have a sense of humor about this stuff at all. These people don't have a sense of humor. And, with Krause, you're talking about making an enemy of incredibly powerful interests. When you get into an accusation of fixing a fight, you're robbing the gambling industry. Okay. Now I realize they've done a pretty good job of kind of weeding out just straight up organized crime out of Vegas. But all of these organizations are ruthless, dude, and incredibly powerful. Even if you're just talking Indian casinos, dude, they have tremendous lobbying power. Like, why do you think sports betting has been illegal for so long? Sports betting. They literally go on television every day on ESPN and they tell you what the odds are for every fight, for every game. They're like, oh yeah, these guys are a minus 250 favorite, or minus 250 favorite. Here are the stats to consider, in terms of the betting line. And sports betting is illegal in 80% of the states. And they do that, federally. How have they been able to keep it illegal for this long? It's because the casino industry has incredible power, because as soon as it becomes legal, they can move it all online and their vice grip on betting goes away. And so Krause is talking, right? And as soon as it's like, hey, this guy, so he's like working with all these fighters and he's betting on UFC fights. It's like, yeah, I don't know. There's a reason why we don't let Major League look at Pete Rose, dude. Pete Rose is one of the greatest baseball players in the history of the sport. And he's blackballed from the sport completely because he bet on baseball. He didn't throw a game. He never threw a game or anything. He just bet on baseball. You know what I mean? Dude, I'm going to tell you right now. Let me stop right here. Dog, Guru threw me in the B section. He can hate on whatever the fuck he wants, dog. Once you throw me in the once you throw me in the second to top slot, say what you want. Although I'll tell you this, dude, if I took this shirt off and stood next to this guy, you guys be all, oh, he does look a lot more like you than I realized. I'm just kidding. But yeah, dude. So, I mean, listen, dude. Again, Kraus fucked himself. He fucked himself, man. No, I'm saying beer tier is not bad. I was being serious. He put me in the same fucking category as MMA or Mexican martial arts. I'll take that all day. Take that all day. No, I'm being serious. I wasn't being sarcastic. I was being serious. I'm in the same section as Mexican martial arts. I love that, dude. I like, if we're talking like MMA news, do you think that I would argue with you guys that I have a better MMA channel than the Weasel? I wouldn't. I definitely 100% would not. I know he gave me props. I'm being serious. That's why I said he can make fun of me all he wants. He's allowed. Me and him are good. He's in my top tier. He actually, I mean, I've said a million times, I really do think there's like, he has a channel that's just him and a camera and a microphone, just like me. I was just talking about this the other day where I was saying like all these other channels, like they're not doing it by themselves, you know, and thus the money that they generate, they have to split with people. I was like, the only people that I think do everything themselves are like me, Guru, maybe I would guess probably Mexican martial arts, although he might have someone doing some editing, but he puts out videos so, you know, infrequently, like in terms of his like edited stuff. He's probably doing it himself. But like a person who's sitting and just talking to a camera, editing themselves, if any, like doing any editing at all themselves, doing thumbnails themselves, uploading, and then doing, and to get to the stage that both me and Guru are at, you have to be incredibly talented just because you just do. He and I mean, our channels are very different. Like he's in the weeds on the fights. I just talk about nonsense, and I do that on purpose though. Anyway, so funny how quick Tate is got for trafficking, but I mean, yeah, you think? Dude, you think? It's hilarious too. You're like, really? I mean, but again, let me just also make this perfectly clear, dude. You don't know. I think it's fair to say now, like, we don't know. We have no idea what this is actually going to be. You know, yesterday, I would have said, yesterday, I think I did say that I feel like this is probably just a shakedown and something they were using to smear him so that in the future, when he talks, they get to say next to his name, you know, Andrew Tate, once arrested for human trafficking. And then anything he says, anything that he says after that, it's like, okay, so this is the least credible person on earth. Right. And so I'm like, okay, they don't need to actually make this stick. They just need to arrest him. And then they've discredited him forever. But now, if the judge really did look at the case, took hours to look at the evidence, and then approved keeping him in jail with no bail, I mean, you got to, it's one of two options. Either the judge is corrupt or there's something there, you know? Did they confirm that it's human trafficking? Like, is that like confirmed for sure that that's what the arrest is for? Because my God, like if he's got all his money coming in from casinos and content, what a waste, dude. That's the other thing too. Like there's so like, now I'm just hypothesizing. Think about this, dude. So I mean, again, I don't know. I don't know the laws there. I don't know the circumstances of his relationships with the girls. I don't know anything. So take this from that position. But like a person who doesn't have a lot of options and finds an angle to make money gets a much longer leash from me. Not if they're victimizing people, obviously. But I'm saying like if they're taking some kind of shortcut or whatever. So assuming this is not just an outright like human abuse case. And again, this is just a hypothesis. Like, just imagine like some kind of crime that was not like human abuse, but it was just something where they were shortcutting to kind of get going. They started making money. It would be such a tragedy if it was like, and then once they started making legit money, and then he became a global star, and they became partners in this casino, and so now all their money is legit, and then they end up going down for stuff they did before that they've completely washed their hands of. That sucks, man. But again, I don't know anything about this. I mean, who knows what this is going to be? Who knows what this is going to be? But Tate's attorney won't confirm charges yet. No, I agree. This is extraordinarily suspicious, dude. It is extraordinarily suspicious because, again, you know, the World Economic Forum stuff, it's just a topic where I don't think that there are more than two groups. It's like you either have looked into this heavily or you haven't. And if you've looked into it heavily, then you know a lot of things. And if you say them out loud, these are public facts, like things that are not even moderately challenging to validate. This group over here that has never looked at any of it will immediately just go, you're a conspiracy theorist lunatic. And you're like, dude, no, they've announced they're doing this. They have laid out exactly what they're doing, and they're 3 years into a 10-year plan. Just go look it up. And they just won't. They're like, it just sounds too crazy to them, you know? But the bottom line is there is a 10-year, you know, whatever. I mean, I don't even know how you would even categorize what they're doing. They're trying to change the world by 2030. This is not a mystery. They have made this very clear. And when I say they, what you're talking about is the collection of all of the most powerful people in the world. That's what the World Economic Forum is. All the most powerful, wealthiest, most connected people in the world. Like, I know, I saw this thing of a dude. It's like, it's to go to the conference. It's $500,000, but you don't just get to pay $500,000 and go. You could pay $500,000. You still have to apply. Okay. And they don't, like, they won't approve. Like, there's a guy who I can't remember what his net worth was. I want to say his net worth was like $18 million. And he applied to pay the $500,000, and they were like, no, you can't come. You can't come. And one of the main, most important things to executing on what they're doing is control of information. That's why Elon buying Twitter was so huge, because ultimately, like, all of the things that you heard about where, it's going against this narrative, it's getting, people are getting deplatformed, or they're getting their tweets deleted or whatever, is all related to the same thing. It's all the same people collaborating. And even if you want to just look beyond World Economic Forum, you just look at Vanguard and BlackRock. They have combined like $18 trillion under management. And then there's a third company that is kind of in that little trio. Okay. Like the entire United States debt is like 31 trillion. And these guys, I mean, the United States spends something like, I think we spend like 3.3 trillion dollars a year. Okay. These two companies have like 16, 17, 18 million or trillion dollars under management. They own everything. Every single company, like when you look and you're like, oh, how are all these things connected? They own all of them. Like they own a meaningful stake in all of these companies, Disney, Pfizer, Procter and Gamble. If you look at what their holdings are, it's unbelievable. They own everything, dude. And so it's like, it's not like conspiracy theory to think that there are people with the most powerful people in the history of the world, where if you start becoming a person who has the ear of the youth in the world, and you're consistently saying things that are directly opposed to the propaganda that they want going down the funnel, to think that they would not consider you an important enemy to address is stupid. Like that is very stupid. And there are plenty of examples of exactly what they do. Dude, they just got like Alex Jones. You can say what you want about Alex Jones. Like, yeah, I mean, he's obviously crazy, but he also said a lot of things that have been proven to be true now. Like now it's like, you know, you just wait enough time. It's like you're all these videos of him saying, like, he said all kinds of stuff that's completely crazy, but he's also said a bunch of things that have ended up being true about these guys. Dude, he just lost a lawsuit. They put a judgment against him for like $1 trillion or something like that. Some number. Like that, I can't even remember what it is. Like it's like the number is so absurd. No, this is not it. This is like the regular one. There was one that was like, yeah, this one here. So he said, you know, he's like, yeah, I think, you know, the Sandy Hook thing was whatever. $965 million. What? $1 billion in damages? $1 billion. They're all, hey, can you go ahead and point to the specific damage that was done by him saying that he thought this was a fake, false flag or whatever. And they're like, well, here's a person whose kid got murdered, and you said that he was an actor. Okay. This guy, his kid died by being murdered. And you said he was an actor. And so people flooded him, calling him an actor. And you're like, okay, yeah, that's insanely fucked up. Like that is very, very fucked up. And they're like, okay, so what do you think is fair? They're all, how about $1 billion? You're all, what? They're all $1 billion. You're all, where'd you come up with that number? He doesn't have anywhere near $1 billion. They're all, it's just enough so that we know for 100% sure we will bankrupt every single way that he is holding money. And then in addition to that, we'll keep him bankrupt and powerless forever. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I mean, I've never seen that before. $1 billion and they win. Like I've seen people sue people for outlandish numbers, but they never actually win. Anywho, but again, I'm not saying that Andrew Tate's not guilty, dude. I'm really not at all. I'm going to wait to see what comes from the case. Dylan J, thank you very much, man. Openly Muslim in a Christian society, maybe money laundering, lots of rumors. Listen to the latest PBD. Thank you for the super chat. I mean, listen, dude. There are plenty of ways that this could be something different than what it appears to be. But again, now that you had a judge actually look at the evidence and remand him to jail for 30 days, with no bail, I don't know, man, that doesn't look good. It doesn't look, I mean, it doesn't mean that it's not, like, again, he could just be a corrupt judge and corrupt prosecutor. These guys have all the money in the world. Like the people that would want to do this to him have all the money in the world. And Andrew Tate did say, if they can't deplatform me, they'll throw me in jail. And candidly, on that front, he's in Romania. You also got to keep that in mind. Like he's in Romania, like in the Eastern Bloc, throwing political opponents in jail is par for the course, dude. They do that all the time over there. And what dictates whether they're, what dictates them going to jail tends to be the level of influence that they have over the population. Like I think that people drastically underestimate how important the people who are in power see the flow of information and controlling negative information, if that makes sense. Like, people who are in power they don't think like we do. And they don't think like us because they can't, okay? They actually dictate what happens in society. We can kind of look around and go, okay, I think this is doing this and this and this. They actually make decisions that impact all of society and in their country, like Vladimir Putin as an example. Okay. Like when these things that we see on TV, right? It's like, oh, there's this huge protest because they're saying that the people were stuffing the ballot boxes. You know, it just looks like a news story to us. We're like, oh, there's a bunch of people that are pissed in the street. Okay. Well, I can guarantee how he looks at it is he imagines Gaddafi, you know, who gets dragged into the street and murdered by, you know, a sword anal probe. Like, when there's real civil unrest in the country, that's how the powerful not only lose their power, they die. You know, they lose their grip on society. And the illusion that all of us live under, that like societies are always like super stable. It's like, oh yeah, everything's super stable. It's like, no, it's not, dude. It is not stable. It's not stable at all. You can have stability for, you know, if certain, you know, kind of certain things are met, but you have a handful of factors kind of get kicked off kilter and things fall apart incredibly quickly. And the leaders are very well aware of that. And so if you've got a person, and I'm not talking about Tate in this example necessarily, but if you've got a person who's in your country, is an agitator, who is, you know, talking about things that are, you know, painting you in a negative light, you and your regime, like they're going to deal, like if you don't live in a society that is very well structured legally, they're going to deal with you. Like, they're just going to. They're going to be like, this is not acceptable. And they'll justify it in their mind in terms of, oh, well, I mean, well, they probably don't have to, because they're just like, I don't like him, I'll do whatever the fuck I want. But also, even, you know, if there's someone who feels like they're a principled person, they'll justify it as they're doing it for the good of the country. This person doesn't have any idea what's going on the other side. And I am a subscriber to that way of thinking in many cases. Like, you know, in the most simple example, when I was in a fraternity and I was young, you know, I was partying my balls off, and you'd look up at, like, you know, the older guys who were on the e-board, which is like the kind of small internal fraternity government. They would meet, they come back, and then they come to the meetings and they would be like, all right, guys, listen, you know, we can't have girls drinking at the house before 5 o'clock because blah, blah, blah. And, you know, you're just like, dude, fuck these guys, man. Why are they always telling us what we can and can't do, dude? We can't have girls there before 5. Fuck you. You know, it's a weird example. And then you get a little older. If you're a leader, you run for office, you end up on e-board. And in one meeting, you're like one meeting on the other side of the curtain, you're like, oh shit. Okay. Oh, that's why we were doing that. Got it. Okay. Understand. And then all of a sudden, all the stuff that you were looking at them like, stop telling us what to do. You're the one telling them, and you're like, dude, guys, you think I'm drunk with power to be on fucking fraternity e-board? Okay. This is why, dude, we're getting our balls broken by these guys over here, you know, or whatever it is. And I remember, like, my friends who had never been on e-board, they would argue with me. I'm like, dude, you think that I got elected to this and like I had a fucking brain transplant? I'm telling you, this is why we have to do it. And like, you think about that in much larger examples, like the one we're talking about, someone's running a country, they're looking at budgets and they're going, how are we going to close this gap on the school budgets? Like the teachers are quitting. We don't have enough fucking teachers. We don't have enough law enforcement. The shit's falling apart. To the regular people, they can't tell, you know, like they're just kind of like, you know, they see a news story about it, whatever. You're the one kind of pulling the strings. And then someone's out there agitating and you're like, dude, fuck this guy. Throw this fucking guy in jail for 7 years. See how he feels about it then. You know, he has no idea what we're dealing with here. We're doing this for a reason. And Andrew Tate, again, and I'm not saying that this is what happened, but like he has a big, big platform. And he was directly challenging the climate change narrative. Okay. Like, I mean, he obviously challenged the COVID stuff and all that, which, I mean, certainly some pretty strong, merit to that. And, but the 10-year plan that these guys at the World Economic Forum are doing is all around climate change. And he's directly challenging the climate change agenda with young people. And he's very influential. So who knows, Anyway, not from 63rd. Thank you very much, man. Maybe he had a contract with a girl to be nude on cam. She wanted out, but she had a contract, didn't want to lose all the money, so she was forced. I mean, listen, if he has a contract, he's good. If there are contracts, he'll be fine. That said, I doubt there are a lot of contracts, in the cam girl world in Romania. NKS, thank you very much. A lot of Tate's stuff is garbage. Real men don't eat sushi. He called out Greta first and then whined when he got ratioed. Nothing manly about that. Like I said in the video, he didn't whine really, dude. Like he had like the right, he doesn't really do that. Like the correct tone. I think the correct tone for his response is not one that he does very well. Like it's, because the correct response to Greta, if we were going to do it short or if you were going to do it long, was you're smiling and laughing, like it's just like, look at you. Look at Greta. Greta made a joke. Greta, you did a joke. Who did that for you? Come on. There is no way that you wrote that tweet. Swear on the climate agenda that you wrote that tweet. Tell me that you wrote that tweet, Greta. Come on video. I am so ashamed of Andrew Tate. And I did write that. Small dick energy at getalife.com. I did that. Let's see it. And he kind of did that. But then he again called her a tool of the establishment and, went for the jugular on the climate change agenda being used to tax people into poverty and implement all kinds of other stuff. But, yeah. So I don't know. Someone's saying that I missed something talking to Watermelon MMA Jagoff. I didn't see whatever we're talking about. I didn't see it. Alex is financially falling apart. You think? He lost $1 billion, $1 billion lawsuit, dude. I'll tell you one thing that Tate said that was garbage was that jiu-jitsu is worthless in a street fight, which is really stupid. I mean, it's like it's ludicrous, actually. You could say going to the ground is not advisable in the street if there are multiple attackers. That's common sense. But yeah, being an expert in any martial art is going to help you immensely in a street fight. And certainly the jiu-jitsu thing has been tested many times and has been proven that that is definitely 100% not the case. But yeah, so someone said, I'm selling out Andrew Tate. I mean, look, so feel like this requires clarity. If I say I have no insight into this case whatsoever, then anything that I say after that should be, like, how would I possibly sell him out? If I'm like, I have no information that you guys, I'm sharing the update in terms of him not making bail, but, I am definitely not selling him out. I'm just saying in the event that he was doing dirt, talking about his money so much was not a good decision, but that he hasn't gotten convicted of anything yet. He hasn't been convicted of anything. But man, can you imagine? Wait, hang on. Andrew Tate is friends with the police. Don't worry. It's all a plan. You think he planned to get locked up in jail? That is ridiculous. Ridiculous. I would love to hear this guy defend this position, though. The way I present my message is doing a disservice to Republicans and people who believe in true freedom and the right thing. Why don't you go in your piggy bank and super chat me for $2 to make sure that I see it, and then try to defend that statement with specifics, and then I'll respond, because that's utter fucking nonsense. 6 victims have come forth saying Tate trafficked them into the sex industry. Where are you getting that from? Where the fuck are you getting that from? So hold on. So here's one thing too. How or like why, if you're okay, so your business is running cam girls, why would you need to do anything other than employ cam girls? Do you know what I mean? Like, what? Like, why would you need to like kidnap girls, or like why would you need to like do any human trafficking when there are a million cam girls? There are like every single girl on Instagram is basically a cam girl now. So like, why would you need to kidnap girls? That's the thing that doesn't make any sense to me. Like you have a million volunteers, you know. But who knows? And also, I'm just like, what human trafficking is like a big catch-all for, like, you know, I don't even, what does that even mean? Like, what is that? What exactly does that mean? Are you saying that you sold? Because I think human trafficking, I think person being held against their will and then exploited for money, right? So like you sell them, or yeah, you force them to stay in a room and then you cam girl them up, and then like, you know, at the end of the thing, you sell them to someone else or something. I don't know. Like it, I mean, who knows? And this is exactly correct. Absolutely, for sure. That is correct. Wait, what? There's someone in here whose name is Yellow Percocets. No way. I'm gonna open this one. I haven't even read this, just because the guy's name is Yellow Percocets. Okay. By raiding his house, they have fingerprints, DNA, hair samples to plant in a case. Super bad for him in a country where police integrity is. Oh, I love it, dude. This is the thing about like not being able to actually like put eyeballs on people that you're interacting with, you know, like, cause like it's so funny. One person who comments is like is a financial advisor at Merrill Lynch. You know, another one is like a former special forces guy who's running, who's running his own business, whatever. And then, like I could have like somebody who's like 16 years old and a total fucking donkey. And I can't tell, you know what I mean? But like, as an example, not to be a prick about this Yellow Percocets, but could you run me through a scenario where, hair and DNA is going to be an important component of their human trafficking case? Because I don't think that is I don't think we're talking about that kind of investigation, dude. Pretty sure that what they're going to be looking for are his devices, and they're going to be looking for evidence in his devices. But who knows? Who knows? Okay, hang on. All this Christianity and religious talk, I don't think that that's related to this at all. I mean, Tate's not going to be talking about anything for the next 30. Well, Who knows? I mean, listen, if somebody tweeted from his account yesterday, that means someone has his account, which means if he can get visitors in the jail, he can have that person put his message out. So like we'll probably hear something, unless they're giving unless he has like no contact. He's under some kind of no contact hold. And I'm curious if they'll put him in, I don't know anything about the Romanian prison system. But I wonder if they can put celebrities and general population over there. Like people think like obviously there are jails, prisons in like there are certain countries where if you go to prison, it's significantly worse than the United States. But it's like the United States is not like that nice compared to a lot of European countries. Like a lot of European countries, you would much rather be in jail there. Much rather. I don't know if Romania is one of them, but yeah. I mean, like, dude, if you go to jail in like Switzerland, it's like, hey, you can go home now. You're like, oh man, really? This is nice. I don't want to go home. And this has been updated, my friend. This is incorrect. He's been remanded with no bail. He's in for 30 days, sounds like. How are you going to do the social credit? That's simple. Compliance. Simple as that. Your social credit score is compliance. Are you up to date on your shots? Have you said anything that would agitate, like I was just talking about, agitators? Have you said anything publicly that we would consider an agitation? And if you do, they give you, I will tell you exactly how it'll work. Okay. Like you say a thing that they deem as some kind of agitation, you'll get a warning, and it'll be a one-time warning. It'll literally work like this platform or any of the platforms. You get a second one, you'll have some privilege taken away for 30 days or whatever, 90 days. As long as you don't do it again, it comes off and you get your privileges back. You get 2 in the same period, something else happens. You get 3, something else happens. And, that's how it's going to work. Watermelon, thank you very much, dude. The real puppet masters behind the scenes have no homeland and wear small hats. They run all sectors of life and divide us all and silence anyone who points it out. Yes. I would say that is relatively accurate. They don't consider themselves. See, that's the thing is like the old, like the way that I feel like things are going now is like the previous group that were like the most powerful people in the world were elite kind of deep state government people in the United States. And then their kind of money around that. And then they had ties to, kind of elite groups in other countries. Like Dick Cheney, Rumsfeld, those guys. And then they would, whatever they were doing. Now, what I feel like has changed is like the people who are like, they don't consider themselves like Americans anymore. It's not like they're not like America's not their priority is this like globalization agenda that they're trying to put together, which honestly, dude, I have no idea I have no idea if the world would be better if they do that in the future or worse. I have no idea. I just know I don't like being told what to do ever. And I know that if you tell me that I have to get something injected into me or my kids when I don't want to, and I've done the research and I feel pretty solid in my decision, then I'm on the other team from you. Whatever you are, I'm on the other team. And if you think you could tell people to close their businesses and lose their homes No, I'm on the other team. Whatever team you are, I'm on the other team. And if you think that if you think that it's a good idea to resegregate schools by race, I'm on the other team from you. I don't care if you say that we're the racist guys. You are. Just calling us racist doesn't mean that you're not the actual racist. Okay. You're talking about re-implementing segregation. You're in the wrong. You're the ones that want to censor everybody. You're the book burners. You're in the wrong. We have an entire historical record to validate this fact. Okay. I'm going to do this again just because it looks like we have new people that were not here earlier. So anyone who was not here. Okay. So this guy, credible guy. So 7 hours ago, the Tate brothers are currently at a hearing. The prosecution have requested a 30-day detention. The judge will assess the evidence and deem whether or not it's strong enough to file for an extension. Decision should be live soon. And then an hour ago, just in, Andrew and Tristan Tate jailed for 30 days to ensure they do not escape as an investigation continues. No bail, appeal possible. This means there is significant evidence and jail time is seemingly more likely. This does not mean they're guilty. So that's what it is. And they were actually doing some they were doing like a Twitter Spaces that there were a ton of people in. So Andrew and Tristan Tate's lawyers appealed the decision, obviously. That was 1 minute ago. So yeah. So yeah, unless this guy is just making things up, which I am going to say pretty confidently he's not, that's what's up. Wait, what? That is not accurate even a little bit, dude. That is woefully inaccurate. Dude, the one thing that was really funny yesterday, someone said on the live stream, I didn't say it out loud because I thought it sounded too much. But someone's like, dude, it's Pizza Tate. I was like, okay, that's good. That is good. Yeah, he's not out, dude. He's definitely not out. Yeah, major news outlets saying he's still in jail. Yeah, he's out, dude. I mean, he's in jail. And I had literally just posted. I just posted the last video that I did, where I said that he was out because I had heard the same thing. I heard he was out 24 hours and he was out. And then someone sent me this. My buddy Brody sent me this, and I looked it up. I mean, listen, like the reason why I'm taking a wait and see attitude is simple. And I would say that you guys should probably do the same thing. Is if you're a hater on Tate, like nothing I say is going to change your mind. Like you're going to hate on him, whatever. Okay. But for the people who don't hate on him and like him or are kind of indifferent, the reason you should just relax is because the accusation is human trafficking. Like you don't want to go hard in the paint and be on record defending him in the event that it ends up being true. Right. That's why I'm like, look, I'm going to wait and see. I have no ill feelings towards him whatsoever. I think he's super clever. I think he's incredibly talented. I think he's smart as fuck. One of the smartest people that one of the smartest people I've ever kind of sat and listened to. I mean, I don't really listen to anybody very much, but I watched some clips of him like on Piers Morgan. I think he handles himself incredibly well when people try to stick it to him, where they bring him on shows and they're trying to trip him up. Oh, tell us about blah, blah, blah. And he just handles it very, very well and thinks really quickly. He's great at condensing his ideas into very short communications. And hopefully he's not guilty of this. But if he is, I don't need videos of me rolling around hardcore defending him if this is going to end up being like a really, really gnarly thing, I don't think that that's super likely. The only thing, like I said, I mean, if it's true that he has the money. Whoa, I don't even know what just happened. That was really weird. That was so weird. But if it's true that he is, if it's true that that he had money coming in from the casinos, then that checks the box that I was talking about, which I'm like, how is he so rich, man? I love this dude. Really? Have you ever watched him speak? See, this is the thing, dude. This is the thing about people like Lenny. They think that a person who they think they disagree with is stupid. And you know what that makes them? Stupid. That just shows you're an idiot. Okay? Because there's no one in the universe that could listen to him talk and think that he's not smart. Like, that's just patently ludicrous. So the only thing you could think of is, well, he thinks this, which means blah, blah, blah. But what you're actually saying is he said this, and I don't agree with that. And so if you can't differentiate between I disagree with that and someone not being intelligent, then that means you're not intelligent. There's just no exceptions to this rule. Also, calling the guy who has the live stream a retard in all caps when he can respond to you and you can't say anything back, also pretty fucking stupid. Anywho, what are you talking, dude? He is you know what? Why not? In honor of Andrew Tate, let's go ahead and let's see how well he debates. Because that is an absurd contention. La 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 la. How long is this? Too long, 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 too long. Why are these all so long? I mean, gosh, aren't there any that are like 2 minutes long? Oh, here we go.
This guy was at the mall when he randomly saw little Uzi. This guy was at the mall when he randomly saw little.
See, I don't want to click on this one because I don't think I think I'll get copywritten, but I'll tell you what, you guys. If you think Andrew Tate can't debate, then go watch that thing with Pierce Morgan, who brings people on to try to break their balls, and see how he did against Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate ate him alive. Ate him alive. Ate him alive. He didn't. No. That's not true. He didn't backpedal. That's not at all what he said. What he said was, what he made a point that was exactly coherent and smart. He said that Pierce Morgan said, "Oh, do you agree with the Taliban not letting women go to school and not go to or not work or whatever?" And what he said is, he said, "What I believe is that the Taliban are running their own country, and it's not my business how they are going to run the country. You have two options. If you have a problem with it, you can either go to war or you could stay out of it. What's the point of questioning them? They're running their own country. It's not my business." That's what he said. But yeah, I mean, now he might be he might be debating people in prison for a little while, maybe. All right. So Lazy Prophet, thank you so much, dude. Jesse, thanks for the updates. Tate is definitely an intelligent human for sure. Doesn't mean all of his ideas are correct or whatever. It's just, he's just smart. He's a smart guy. But honestly, you know what I thought, like when I've been watching him, like, or like seeing some of his clips, like I said, I really have not watched like a ton of his stuff. Like all just kind of like shorter clips. I don't think I've ever watched more than like probably 4 consecutive minutes of him, you know, like I'll watch like a take of his and that's kind of it. But one thing that I felt like I was watching, especially on the Pierce one, was a person who wishes he could take back how he burst onto the scene initially, you know, like where he's trying to kind of present himself as like a motivational guy, kind of like a Jordan Peterson type, except more kind of like, you know, whatever he is, a flashy, cocky, whatever Jordan Peterson. But the thing is, like, you can't unsay the things that you've said on the internet. It's like, those are there forever. But I agree with this, actually. NKS 432, thank you so much, man. Like you, I think Tate is smart, articulate, and intelligent. He's also a bit of a grifter. Some of his ideas are good, but he sells a con and people buy. I totally agree with that. 100%. But again, like, you know, the con is Hustlers University, right? Like, hang on. Yeah, he the Hustlers University thing is the con. Well, it's partially that. It's like, you know, I mean, that's where he's generating money from his image, but also like his image is directly tied to, you know, I got 33 cars. I got that. And the thing is, he doesn't even need that. Like, that's the honest truth. It's like, he doesn't need that. Like he doesn't need that. I actually don't think it adds anything to, well, fuck, what am I talking about? For the simps and the Hustlers University, of course. Like that's, so I totally agree with that. He's like, he is partially selling a con, which is the Hustler University side, but like but of him being a star for all, you know, for lack of a better word, like he didn't need that shit. He really didn't. Like he, you know, I don't know. Joshua Ryan, thank you so much, man. That is incredibly generous, and I very much appreciate it. You too, dude. Speaking of which, let me see if I can get the hot girl to come up and say what's up. Everybody's controlled opposition. Hello. Gabrielle, are you coming up here or what? People are hounding me. I was taking our children on an adventure through the neighborhood. Are you back or? Yeah, but now I'm helping Giselle make rice. Good God, Gabrielle, hurry up. Okay, I'll come in like 5 minutes. Okay, bye. See, you guys, now you have to say that you were like, oh my God, there she is. He was telling, like, we were all begging. I can't. Guys. Hey guys, if you've been listening to this for long enough, which is, I'm sure, lots of you, feel free to respond to this so I don't have to. How many times do you think that I've acknowledged this during the stream? 60? Like ballpark 60? I've said literally probably 100 times that it could be a setup. The judge could be corrupt. I mean, over and over and over and over and over. So if you want to chime in and not have me break your balls, just Forget about, I thought this was a critical thinking channel. Just go, hey, we're acting as if the police can't stage a crime. Then I won't feel like I want to stick my cock down your throat in front of everyone. Yeah, Tate's still in jail. They are not released. Gosh. Man. I'm telling you, I wouldn't look again. Here we go, guys. One last time. Okay. Tate brothers currently at the hearing 7 hours ago. Prosecutors have requested 30-day detention. Blah, 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 blah. And Andrew and Tristan Tate have been jailed for 30 days to ensure they do not escape as an investigation continues. No bail, appeal possible. Blah, blah, boop. They are not out. They're in jail. How many of you guys, Josh, thank you so much, man. You're the best, dude. Although you could have waited till she was here, but I'll show her this anyway. Thank you, sir. So can you imagine if they suicided? Can you imagine if they suicided him? Dude, they better have a lot of guards, man. Like they better have the only thing they could do if they were going to suicide him, they would have to slip something in his food so he fell asleep, like he was like incapacitated. Cause dude, people do not understand the difference between a professional fighter and just like a regular tough guy. He'd be a tough round, dude. A real tough round. Don't ever fuck with the guy in shades. I mean, but again, Joshua, thank you so much, man. I'm going to go ahead and platform this just because I don't know if you're serious, but no. Okay. So how many of you guys believed that the video of Andrew Tate with the girl when he was slapping her around was real? Or think that it's real? Actually, let's do that. If you think that the video of Andrew Tate slapping the girl around is real, press 1. If you think it's not real, press 2. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, press 0. Let's see what's what. Dark Moon thinks real. No. Yeah, real means unconsensual. He's beating her up. Okay. So we got 0s and 2s almost across the board. No, Lord Guru, if you think it's role play, that means 2. Yeah. All right. So we got 95% 2. Yeah, because like, again, I definitely can't play that on here because they'll demonetize it. But like, I mean, I saw that for 1 second, and I was like, oh, they're role playing. Obviously, this is obviously a role play. It's definitely not real. Dark Moon. The girl immediately came out and was like, that was consensual. We were role playing. Like, ask yourself this, okay? If you really think that that's real, right? Why would there be someone filming that? Like, why would there, like, he's like, hey, Tristan, I'm going to be committing domestic violence in here because I can't handle it. Bring the camera in here and I'm going to slap this bitch because she's not listening to me. Now film it. It was so obvious that it was not real. Now, I will say it was a little weird. Like they're like sex role playing and you got someone filming it. Like that's weird. That's a little bit weird. I mean, I'm up for a good filming, but I tend to do the filming myself. A lot of POV A lot of POV. And then a few, well, actually a lot of those too. A lot of stationary, you know? Dude, I got one person that goes, "You sound just like him." I got another person that says it's the worst, the worst impression ever. Oops. Whoa. I know that's the accusation. Like I said, that's why I'm not taking a side on this. It's like, if he really is doing that, like, I am definitely not defending anything even remotely in the same universe as that. KV8, thank you so much, man. That is extraordinarily generous. Thank you very much, man. Listen to YouTube for a while now. Don't agree with everything, but respect your point of view. Thanks for being a part of my non-echo chambering. You're very welcome, sir. And thank you for being a person who looks for channels where you don't agree with everything. That's honestly like, that's what I do too. But the thing is like it's like, there are people that I disagree with, but it's about like how I disagree with them, right? It's like how does it make me feel? And I can tell you what, like, I could put my finger exactly on where I hear someone with an opinion that I disagree with that makes me mad, or I hear a person with an opinion I disagree with and I listen. And I'm really good at picking out a person who's speaking from a critically thought out point of view versus a person who read a headline, got emotional, and then is vomiting it back out at me. I can't fucking stand that. Like, I absolutely can't stand it. They don't even realize that that's what they are. You know, like they don't even realize that's what they are. Do you know what I mean? It's like they feel like they're sharing an incredibly well thought out, passionate, you know, position. And you're like, man, if I poke your opinion this much, you're not going to have an answer. You're like, this much. Like I'll give you the best example that I can, actually, just because this one always stuck out to me. So there's this guy. So I, at the tech company that I worked at I worked there from like 2018 through 2020. I worked there for like 3.5 years. There was this guy who was young. He's a sharp kid, but he's young. And he was like a very avid consumer of MSNBC. Like, he would read it and he's like this ball of fire. He was like a rugby player in college. And so he was just like, you know, he's like the prime suspect for getting worked up at headlines. Right. And he just had bought in hook, line, and sinker to literally anything that's on MSNBC. Now, I used to watch MSNBC, you know, not at all anytime very recently, but, you know, because I used to watch Fox and MSNBC because that used to be my non-echo chamber. And now I can't watch MSNBC for 2 minutes. I get too mad, where I'm like, because it's just so absurdly dishonest. And Fox is very challenging for me also, you know, like I can't watch very much of either. But I remember he was, you know, he was all up in arms about something. And this was actually, so I listened to a lot of Ben Shapiro, and I didn't really realize yet, like, cause my opinion of Ben Shapiro was all based on having actually watched and listened to him. Right. Like, and so I didn't even actually realize that he was like this, like, super poison figure among the left, right? Like, I honestly didn't know that. And so I said something about, I was like, oh yeah, I'm like, Ben Shapiro was talking about that. Come on in, Ben. So bring that comfy chair.
I just told Georgia to put something away, and she looked me dead in the eye and said, "I ain't no holla back girl."
No, she did not.
I swear to God.
Swear. No, she did not. She said, "I ain't no holla back girl." Georgia.
Yeah.
We're so fucked. We're so fucked. That's so clever. Dude, my 6-year-old is me, except 6. Anyway, so I said something about Ben Shapiro, and he goes, Ben Shapiro. He literally looked at me like I had just said, like, well, if you read this dude that worked at AppDirect, he's like, He looked at me like I had basically been like, if you read Mein Kampf in chapter 3, you will see the mongrel races are like, he literally looked at me like I just straight up quoted Hitler or something. And I'm like, yeah, Ben Shapiro talked about it. He's like, dude, bro, don't talk to me about Ben Shapiro. And I was like, why? And he said, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he's like, and I'm like, wait, what do you dislike about Ben Shapiro? He's like, for one, he hates women. Like he straight dropped that. Like he dropped that as if he was saying like, his last name, you know, like he was that certain, you know, well, for one, he hates women. I was like, really? He's like, really? I'm like, he hates women. He's like, yeah. I'm like, I'll tell you what, he's a SDR. Like he's not like I mean, you know, he's not like a super high paid guy. And I'm like, I'll tell you what, dude, you can scour the internet. If you can find one clip, a single clip of Ben Shapiro being rude to a woman, saying anything even moderately inflammatory to a woman or about a woman, I'll give you $1,000. And he's all, whatever. I'm like, you heard what I said. You said he hates women. Yeah. $1,000. One clip of him saying anything that would support that or him demonstrating in any capacity that you could argue that would support your position. He's like, all right, fucking week later. I'm like, so how's the search going? He's like, I don't have time for all that, dude. I don't have time for that. Oh, weird. You don't?
It's not true.
Of course it's not. And like with me, I would have had that experience and been like, geez, I should probably at least give this guy a chance now, since obviously I was fed bullshit information. But anyway, Joshua Ryman, thank you so much, dude. I really hope none of this is true. We don't need another Liver King this year, aka another disappointment in fraud. I know, dude. Well,
Liver King.
Listen.
What's the fraud about? What are we talking about?
Andrew Tate being arrested. Now he got remanded for 30 days with no bail. And how they did it was the judge, so the prosecutor asked for it, and the judge was like, well, I'll review the evidence and decide if that's reasonable. Because obviously if they don't have a strong case, it's not going to make him sit in jail.
Yeah.
And he reviewed it, and then he was like, and he remanded him. So, but again, it's Romania, dude. I don't know, like, you can corrupt a judge in the United States for fucking 20 grand. Like, imagine what you could do in Romania. Anyway, so like, but here's what I'm going to say about the Liver King one. Or I'll respond in the form of a question. You seriously believe that Liver King was not on steroids? Let's do the 1 and 2 again. Put a 1 in the comments if you believed that Liver King was not on steroids, and a 2 if you knew he was on steroids, obviously. Let's see how that shakes out. Frederico, dude, you got and Zoom loyalist, Vicky, man. So you guys were at home just devouring liver, huh? All right. Well, whether being honest or not honest, most people suspected he was on juice.
1,000% he was.
Of course.
All you had to do is look at one photograph.
I mean, and
if
like
people believe that was actually from liver, like, you're the most gullible human being on the planet.
Dude.
Even I knew that, and I'm super gullible.
Hold on. There's this one, like, so I did a video about him, and I looked up, I was looking for a picture where he looked extra juiced up, and look at this picture, dude.
It's like,
it's so ludicrous. It's like,
it's physically impossible.
it's like, wait, where is it, dude? This one. Hold on.
Yeah.
Here, look at this. Hey, it's just liver.
I've seen a lot of liver.
He's like, it's so ludicrous.
Seen a lot of liver.
I mean, he looks great, dude. He just looks like a person who's on steroids and HGH. A lot of both. A lot of both. And also clearly works out twice a day and is extraordinarily surgical with what they eat. Like, that's the thing about this picture. It's like everything.
He probably does eat a lot of liver.
No, I'm sure he does. Like, what I'm saying is I actually don't think that he was a total fraud at all. I think that he was lying about one thing, which, I mean, it's a pretty big thing. But I really believe that I honestly believe that he got trapped into that. Like, I think that someone asked him And he kind of said no. And then he can't go back.
$10,000 a month in HG.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I don't know where the hell he is getting his HGH because I can get it a lot cheaper than that. No matter how much he's taking, dude.
But you would never purchase
Well,
substances.
not that I would ever. Wait, it's legal.
Is it?
I mean,
If you have a source where you're getting it cheap, it's probably not the legal.
yeah,
one.
that's fair. That's fair. Oh, look at, dude. Look at. Well, I guess my skin routine is working well. If they're
Oh.
accusing me of Botox.
Got him on some bomb ass collagen.
What's up,
some good
dude?
Skincare,
What's
y'all.
up? My Navy SEAL friends
Aging
broke. Oops.
backwards over here.
They broke my balls today, though. Like, because
Why? Because you look
I got
so
on-
pretty?
I got on with Ed and Jeff, and Ed's like, dude, you got some sun? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, your face is beet red. And I was like,
It's just your natural
I'm literally,
state.
I'm talking to fucking SEAL Team 6. I'm like, no, my wife has me on this new skincare routine.
Like you're fired.
Yeah, they're
Get outta
all,
here.
oh wow, they love that shit. Because I own all, like I'll fucking own spray tan on them too. They're just like, this dude's a fucking alien.
You are. Wow, that's an aggressive question there, Lenny.
Which one? Days in a row.
What, did it just go away, or did?
Oh
the
no, it
chat-
probably just scrolled up.
Oh no, it went away.
What was the question?
It was
Was it sexual in
sexual
nature?
in nature. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I could
Explicit
tell by
content.
I could tell by your hesitation. Do I think his conversion to Islam was sincere?
Whose?
Andrew Tate.
Oh.
And, I think his conversion to much love from Sacramento. Thank you very much, dude. And much love right back. If so or not sincere, how would this relate to his current arrests? Perhaps terror related, a Muslim. I could say that. I mean, I don't think the arrest is terror related. Like what, he's like that. That's, and it's, there are what, like 2 billion Muslims. Like he doesn't strike me as that kind of, fundamentalist, but I don't have any reason to question his conversion. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like a really personal thing that, yeah, I mean, I just would say I don't know. I have no indication that it's not, you know what I mean? I also don't know enough about the faith to say whether the way he carries it would be like in direct violation of like the doctrine. You know what I mean? Which
Just so many.
Oh, Lenny, you're gonna make me do this to you, dude? Well, you could start in timeout for now.
I love that you can put people in timeout.
The answer is yes, though. If he's innocent, there are much more nefarious things at play than just girls lying. Perhaps on the funding side. Now that.
What is that? What?
Now this
I
is,
don't get it.
see what I was talking about? I'm like, sometimes people comment and I'm like, I don't know, like I can't see them. And so like, I might be talking to someone who's like, works at Merrill Lynch, or I might be talking to some donkey that's fucking 14. But this is a very strong follow-up right there. I hadn't even thought of that. And yeah, that's very possible. I mean, again, I'm not questioning his faith at all. I'm just saying that like, I couldn't really think of that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I can't really think of a reason why he would juke it, but that would certainly be a coherent reason that he would, but I don't, I don't know. Thank you, MMA Jagoff. That's exactly correct.
Oh, thank you.
Was Andrew Tate in the movie Taken? Oh my God. That's so funny. Only because like, wait, hang on. Where'd that go? That's only funny because he actually does look like the bad guys in Taken, dude. He really does. Like in the first one, he looks like one of the bad guys. Dude, I saw John Bernthal was on Rogan yesterday or the day before. That was that episode is so good, dude. John Bernthal, he's really, really cool, dude. But he was talking about he actually lived in Moscow for a little while. And he said that while he was there, he was by himself at night. And he was just him on the street. This car pulled up, and these two guys were like dragging this girl out of the back seat that she was clearly like a hooker, you know, and there were these two guys, and they pulled her out and they took her over to this building and they started smashing her face against the wall. Yikes. And he said that he just like forgot where he was, and he like ran across the street and he put a hand on the guy and was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? He said the guy turned around and put a gun in his face and in English was like, walk away. And he said that he's like, dude, he's like, I mean, I've looked down. I've stared at, I've seen guns pulled before. He's like, I've been squared up with lots of people. He's like, I've never felt like this guy to me, to him, I was a bug. Like he would have killed me like I would kill a bug. And I know exactly what he's talking about. I've told this story before, like about, when I try to verbalize it, like there's no way for me to do it justice. But like I was out in San Diego this one time with, I can't remember if you were there or not. O'Gorman and those guys. And like, and we were in front of Stingery, and one of my buddies is like 300 pounds.
Oh no, I wasn't there. I remember you telling me the story.
Yeah. So he's enormous. He played offensive line,
Huge.
He's enormous. Huge. He played D1 O-line. And, when he would get drunk, you know, he's like, who wants it? You know, one of those guys.
Like he would leave, and this
is a different person.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde situation would happen.
And he's like, you know, he's the only person I've ever been friends with who's like who's that big, who did that kind of shit. You know, like I know guys who are
dangerous.
Yeah, like I know lots of guys who, you know, like, oh, what's up, dude? What's up? But he's 300 pounds, you know, like, and he was so consistent. He would do it all the time. And I would always be like, dude, chill the fuck out. So this one night we were in front of Stingery in San Diego. It's like 2 a.m. like the place had closed. And I was just kind of looking around, and I looked, and there were these 3 guys in front of Stingery, like at the entrance. And it was like one little guy, like they were clearly foreign. Like I think they were Eastern European, like Russian or whatever. There's one guy who was like, you know, he's talking really quietly to the other guy. And then there were these 2 other guys, and one of them was enormous. I looked at him and I was like, this guy has tortured people to death before. Like he's the most dangerous person I've ever seen. Like I just looked at him. I'm real good at sizing up danger on people. And I looked at him and I was like, oh my God. Like I've never had a chill run through me looking at a person like I did that guy. Like I looked at him and went, oh my God, his face looked like leather. His eyes, it's like this guy had known nothing but violence from when he was 0 until now, right? And I turned around to my buddies and I was like, dude, that is the most dangerous human being I've ever put eyes on in my life, right? I said it's super quiet. And 300-pound Ryan turned around and goes, which motherfucker? Right at him, dude. And I like, dude, yeah. I literally was like, I don't even... Like, I don't know what he thought that I was saying. Like, I've never said anything like that to them before, but his reaction was to immediately confront this. This guy would have literally stabbed him to death with a Bowie knife right there and eaten his heart, and then just looked at everybody and been like, I fucking dare you to talk to the cops about this. And it was like, when he did it, it was like, you know, like if you don't know that something exists, you can't see it, you know, like, it's like, you know, like people are like, didn't you see the dragon? You know, and it's like, to you, dragons don't exist, so you can't see it. It's like this guy didn't even see him do it. He was fucking 6 feet away, dude. It's like,
he was a non-threat.
No, because no one had ever done that to him before, ever. And so when Ryan did it, he didn't even acknowledge him. This 300-pound dude who was clearly challenging him directly, and he didn't even move. Like, I was like, and I grabbed him and I was like,
No.
dude, I'm saving your life right now, potentially. And I mean, yeah.
This is not a good idea.
Yeah, dude. Which motherfucker? This is the same guy that one time, like, my other buddy Christian, who's also very big, but not as big as him, and actually is like a trained martial artist. Ryan is like, he's all, fuck, Christian isn't shit, man. He's in shit. And it's like, all right. And then he's like, hey, Christian, let's wrestle, dude. Let's fucking wrestle. They get into the grass. Christian fucking armbarred him 11 times in a row. Like, literally just like armbar. And like, Ryan couldn't understand. He's like, how are you? Let's run it back, dude. No fucking run it back. And he just literally every time, boop, 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 armbar. It's just like, hopefully this is teaching him a lesson that,
Did
like,
not sink in at all.
no, yeah, like if your friend could break your arm that easily, maybe
Someone else could.
maybe like, what if someone that like didn't like you, you know? Rolo, thank you so much, man. What's up? Just join. Any info on the longest blue balls in MMA history? John Jones comeback. What the fuck is going on? Is he milking sponsors or what? That's funny that you say that, and thank you for the super chat, because I saw a clip today of him saying he's in no rush to come back. I have no idea when it was from. That's the thing. Like, I saw this clip and it was a short, and it was talking about John Jones, like, I'm in no rush to come back. You know, Dana and them, they're going to recognize my value, and they'll meet me halfway. And then he's like, what's really sad, he's like, there are guys that are living at Jackson Wink because they can't afford their own apartment, and they're UFC fighters. He's like, it's sad, dude. And I was like, damn. And I actually meant to take that clip so that I could put it on one of the videos, but I forgot. But
Look what just popped up on my phone.
okay.
I know.
Send me that, please. Dude, so 100%, they definitely are still in jail. So we'll do this one more time. We'll just do this one more time.
What's happening?
Well, people keep coming on because, like, the report was that he got released, but it was not accurate. And so people keep coming on. Like, the title of this is like that he's remanded. So people keep coming on and he's actually released. Okay. So Andrew Tate brothers currently at the hearing. Prosecutors request a 30-day detention. Judge will assess the evidence, and then boom. 2 hours ago, Andrew, Tristan Tate jailed for 30 days to ensure they will not escape. It's all over the media, dude. It's his brother. Okay. Yeah. They're super close. Like, dude, they share a bank account, the brothers.
That's weird.
It's kind of cool, actually.
Is it?
I think so.
It's kind of weird.
Well, you know me. I want a twin, dude. Dude, would you guys want a twin? Like an identical twin? Like, I want one so bad. Just like,
you're such a narcissist that you want two of yourself.
No, I just think I would be best friends with myself.
Case in point.
How is that? That's
I just think I'm the coolest person ever, so I want to be best friends with myself.
No, I just would like myself. And I would like, and someone who knows what I'm thinking all the time. Like, you know, we were just hanging out and someone would be like, blah, blah, blah. We just look at each other. We both know. We're like, idiot. J-Man, your 3-month-old son loves my show.
Nice.
Probably because he likes looking at Gabrielle's boobs and thinking about food.
Good Lord.
I mean, why else would a 3-month-old like the show?
Because you're so entertaining.
To 3-month-old?
Oh, yeah.
3 months old?
We entertained our 3-month-old. 3-month-olds.
Well, that's my job, son. How we doing on wine, Bubba?
We need to get some.
We do?
Yeah.
I bought you 3 bottles the other night.
No, you didn't. Well, no, we
Yes,
have
I
that,
did.
We have that kind, but I want to get the good one from the winery.
Oh.
Just like go there and have a glass.
We'll get a glass and then grab a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
And we'll make sure that we're hungover on New Year's Eve morning.
So we can drink more wine.
I know. Well, I'm going
I know. Hardcore. Clean.
sober January. So may as
Like,
well go
it's
hard
called
tonight and
Dry
tomorrow.
January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least until the 20th. Actually, you know what?
What?
I kept thinking it's the 24th. I think it's the 29th. Let me double check.
I literally can't find the right date online.
Oh, well, I'll get it for you right here. Porn conference
2023.
2023 porno conference. It is, yeah, January 29th. Damn, so I'm gonna get an entire month of clean. I'm gonna be so a monster.
Oh yeah.
Monstrous. Also, I'm not gonna wait till the last week to cut weight.
That was so fun for everyone.
MMA Jagoff, thank you so much, dude.
Thank you.
You guys, you're gonna take over the internet if you keep streaming together. Best channel out there by far. Thank you, sir. And that I totally agree. I actually think Gabrielle will do better on her own also. That way she won't have this boring stick in the mud sitting next to her while she talks about, while she gives makeup tips to all the ladies.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not, not what I would talk about.
Makeup tips. You're like, I can't think of any topics. I'm all, tell them how you do your eyeshadow.
Yeah. Oh, I'd rather die.
See, look again.
What?
You know what? I don't.
Fine.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, it just keeps on coming in. Here you go, guys. Andrew Tate did not get released last night. I did a video right before I went live saying that he got released. That's why I had to go live for an hour and a half.
To correct himself.
To correct myself. Dude, I would get off, but people keep giving us so much money, Gabrielle, that I can't. I have to stay on.
We have to go buy wine.
Yeah.
And drink it.
Ooh, that's an enticing offer, you guys.
Hey. What are y'all doing for New Year's?
Yeah, who's doing what for New Year's? Oh my God, Lenny's back. Behave yourself, dude. The next one's permanent. Jesse, don't fret. And totally redeems himself.
That's why you put people in timeout.
I know. Totally redeems himself. Hey, does it say you're in timeout? What does it say on your side? Someone said, what's the rundown? Oh, sorry. Here. Someone's asking for the rundown. This is the rundown. But the more, the detail that matters in addition to that is that they reported that the judge was going to review the evidence and then make a decision on whether or not to remand him for 30 days. And they reviewed the evidence and then did. So not good.
Greta Thunberg is the worst.
What'd she say? Oh, wow. Greta mocks Andrew Tate after he was arrested in Romania, likely over a tip-off theory from their Twitter fight. Okay, this autistic bitch is not mocking anyone. She's got people on her Twitter that are like, I have something clever, Greta. She's all,
okay.
Oh, go ahead and post that. I am so ashamed of you, Andrew Tate. Like, she's never like even, she has no sense of humor at all.
Yeah.
Wait, so what did she say?
She just said that the pizza box.
Oh my God, this bitch. This girl was so excited on Twitter yesterday. Like I responded to her and I was like, shut up.
She's the worst.
You know who she is?
I've just seen her tweets.
Dude, look up. So if you Google pictures of her, she's a trans actor. She's like a LGBTQIA plus minus sign divided sign activist. And if you look up her pictures, the first one that comes up is her wearing a shirt that says "Protect Trans Kids." I'm like, from who? You know, like, from who?
I would like to protect them too.
Yeah.
From
unnecessary intervention. Yeah, like be specific. She's like, well, there's this guy that was about to kill this trans kid. I'm like, I got his back, dude. Her, whatever. I've got their back. If someone was seriously going to kill him, you're like, no, I want to. But what do you? Yeah, what do you really mean? She's like, well, Jordan Peterson said that, you know, they shouldn't be able to have medical castration until they're at least 16. And so I want to protect her from that terrible, terrible fate. You're all. So you want to protect him by making sure that he's able to chop his own penis off?
Irreversibly.
Yeah. She's like, yes, that's right. I'm like, I think you and I have different definitions of protect.
Yes, that.
Nathan Bush, thank you very much, sir. That is very kind. Thank you, dude. Oh, look at Gabrielle again.
What?
How do they always know?
What?
Look at, he's exposing me that I'm 5'6".
Oh,
Always the 5'6", dude.
something about that height.
Gabrielle, am I 5'6"?
Yes.
See? 5'5", actually.
And a half.
And 5'4". There it is. That's
getting closer.
That's the real truth.
Wow. So original too.
See, and this is actually correct. Actually, I'm 5'5" with a 7.5-inch dong. So we exaggerated a little bit in both directions, but whatever. I'm not actually 5'5", but I do have a 7.5-inch dong.
Can we not call it a dong?
Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I just repeated his own word. This is correct. BBC News
What?
that he's in for 30.
Yeah. CNN too.
Why do they keep saying Jesse steals his voices from South Park? Let's do this. I know what we can do, dude.
What are we doing?
Let's show Greta Thunberg being so funny. Like let's just look.
I can't stand her. I don't even want to look at her.
Gabrielle. She's just an autistic teenager. Oh God. Everything Greta. Oh my God. Here we go.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school, on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you?
Oh my God.
You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. And yet I'm one of the lucky ones.
This is way worse than I thought.
What is
People are
happening?
suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth.
Wow.
How dare you?
How dare
Hey, hang on. So she was like, how dare you?
you? And then her face.
Give me my Twitter. She's all, hey, hit me back at small dick energy
Yeah.
at getalife.com, bitch. Yeah. Hey, tweet that. How dare you? It's like, there's no fucking way she
For more
she
than
did not
30
write that
years, the science has been crystal clear. How dare you continue to look away and come here saying that you're doing enough when the politics and solutions needed are still nowhere in sight? You say you hear us and that you understand the urgency.
She is the most
But no matter how sad and angry I am, I do not want to believe that. Because if you really understood the situation and still kept on failing to act, then you would be evil, and that I refuse to believe.
Oh my God, that's so much worse than I thought, dude. That, and dude, that like,
I don't know what to do with that person.
that was not like a troll video either. That was on the Telegraph. Like that was
She
really,
proud of that.
yeah, they're all, here is Greta in all her glory. And she's all, boo. I mean, listen, dude, ecosystems are collapsing. Maybe we do need to do something, but I feel as though she'll still be the most annoying person on earth. Either way. How dare you?
No one will ever say, how dare you? Like the guy from the hearings.
Which guy, from which hearings?
How dare you?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. I forgot about that, dude. Oh, you guys are in for a treat. Nathan Bush, thank you so much. Let me get to this super chat first, and then I am going to show. Oh my God.
How are you even going to find that? I don't even remember what it's from.
Trans activist Washington city
Washington?
council. Joshua Ryman, thank you so much, man.
You.
Greta's speech sounds more like a description of what the NWO are doing and not the common man. Yes,
Really? Where is
correct.
she? Don't know.
Thank you very much, dude. Now, you guys are in for a treat.
I don't think so.
Hold on. I think they were. Wait.
Is it good? Was it so good?
Oh wait.
Type
wait.
in "How dare you." You might even find it because it was so. You remember their name?
No, Evergreen. It. Oh my God.
How dare you?
Dad,
How dare you?
Dad,
What?
are we going to
Hold
my
on.
house?
Nope.
Why?
Because mommy and daddy are going to be selfish and go do whatever we want to do.
So yes.
Nope.
Are you guys going?
Not to my house.
Dude, how am I going to find this?
I don't know.
Hold on. Your Royal Highness.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
You know why it's. Come on.
I'll look for it. If I find it, I will send it your way.
Man. So it's like it's in Evergreen, where where Evergreen State, where they had that huge thing. It's at the city council. So the city council, like the most liberal, the most progressive city council in history.
I found it.
You did not.
How do you want me to send it to you? Or there you go.
Trans activists confront Olympia. Oh my God. Oh my God.
We're not watching the whole thing. There's just one person in particular
There it
who
is.
just stands
There it is.
out.
And
Yeah,
that's him.
Yeah, I know. I know.
It's
He was
him.
the thumbnail. That's all I knew.
I am profoundly ashamed.
Okay. So just to set this up, this city is putting on some kind of event that's for to support the trans community, and it's literally a we support trans community event, and these group of circus clown weirdos come in there, and this is how they respond to the city council's attempts to give them whatever. And by the way, the last guy, his name is Your Royal Highness, because he is the apex predator on the intersectional hierarchy. He is black, gay, trans, handicapped.
I don't think you can say that word anymore, but yeah.
What are you supposed to say?
Disabled?
Disabled?
No.
Retard?
That's right.
Broken legs.
Like physically impaired or something. I don't even know what the
Jesus.
PC term is anymore.
He's stricken to a hand
You can't even say confined to a wheelchair. You have to say uses a wheelchair.
I can say whatever the fuck I
this
want.
is all from the
From
from
the
the list, the Stanford list.
Jesus.
You can't say confined to a wheelchair. You have to say uses a wheelchair.
Okay, so he's a black trans gay weirdo who uses a wheelchair.
Ashamed that City Hall is willing to sponsor a Trans Day of Remembrance lighting in a building that has police, that has humans who are not on the side of the liberation of my sisters and my children.
Yeah, so they're mad because there's going to be cops there to protect people. They're all, how dare you?
Heartspark Press and Unite were not invited to even be a part of the lighting of the ceremony.
That's them, by the way.
And you are telling me you're going to light up City Hall to honor Black and brown trans women? You're going to light up a City Hall that has police, and police are a part of the problem. They kill my families.
Oh, they did? Who?
They make it unsafe to live. I urge you next year to not involve the police, to not light up your building,
Basically, this whole
and
thing
put money.
was the
Broadcast
city
live out in
something
people's-
for that community.
Yeah.
And they were all lining up to say how badly they did
Yeah.
something good for
But
them.
just wait
The
for
families, young
Again.
families.
My point is, like
this guy. This
You didn't
guy,
hear
like, this
what-
guy, like, can't put together a coherent thought, and he just keeps getting mad. And then they're like, "Can you please stop swearing?" And he's like, "He's all the fuck." He literally goes, "This is exactly what the fuck I'm talking about."
what I just said, which proves my point. You're not listening to my frustration and pain having to deal with people like you who are worried about what I'm saying instead of like, or how I'm saying it instead of what I'm saying.
Literally has not made one coherent point before this.
Just like the illusions of this meeting, like this shit's nice, right? You get people in a room, they come to you with their problems. You say you care, but you don't really do anything about it. We go home, we come back again, there's no solutions. So I hope, but I'm very hopeless in change, especially when it's in the hands of people like you on this
Look at his
board.
hair.
I hope that you will be able to hear our pain and we
What do
can
you think, Giselle?
No.
have a meeting point in getting the peace we want to see in the world. And I would like also to like not have the police involved with any sort of lighting involving any like trans women, KMAT people, really anyone.
Okay, and then out of
That's someone for
nowhere,
Washington.
look at, and then out of
And
nowhere, there's like this guy who's like well-spoken and normal, and you're like, "What are you doing hanging out with these freaks?"
its heritage is built upon the backs of
All right, here we
brown,
go.
black and red solidarity.
No more
Thank
waiting.
you.
This guy is the greatest woke person in the history of wokeism, dude. Gabrielle, how many times have I screamed, "How dare you!" in our house?
So many.
A billion times. And I'm imitating this guy every time.
Thank you. Next, I have the Royal Majesty.
I just want to say, how dare you co-opt the symbols of my trans and gay siblings while also having those very same symbols protected by people who are meant to eliminate us. How dare you? And how dare you
Is he laughing or
That,
even think
disgusting.
about accepting an award for a place that you block off half of, therefore making it impossible for me to get around in the city. I am beyond angry. I'm furious. I'm furious that this town even has the nerve to claim progressivism.
You guys get the idea. This is because they put on an event called the Trans Day of Remembrance. And that was the response from that group of trans
Awful
activists.
job.
Yeah.
They did.
MMA Jagoff, thank you very much. Brian M, thank you very much. Oh my God. This is so great, dude.
Oh, hello.
Brian M, thank you again.
You just told me don't.
Giselle,
Hello.
what was I about to say?
How dare you?
Correct. She knows. She knows.
I'm gonna go to,
How dare you?
I'm gonna go to Paint House.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up because Gabrielle and I gotta go get some wine and not take Giselle to whatever she's asking to go to. So
Unacceptable.
It's got to be such a
I will leave you guys with the following.
How dare you?
Jesse on fire made fun of my brother, the Royal Majesty. as he was trying to fight for trans rights at the Olympia City Council. How dare you?
Oh, wow.
And I'm out.